Hello and welcome to Sleepy Tales, the place where stories come alive to gently guide you into a world of rest and relaxation. I'm Brian, your narrator for tonight, and I'm so glad you're here. This evening, we'll drift together into the timeless fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty, a story filled with magic, mystery, and the power of true love's touch. So find a cozy spot, let your body relax, and let your mind wander as the story unfolds. And before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our Sleepy Tales family, so you'll always have a new dreamy adventure waiting for you whenever you need peace and calm. Now let's take a deep breath and begin our journey into Sleeping Beauty. The tale of the Sleeping Beauty, the long-awaited birth in the shadow of Maleficent. In a kingdom far, far away, nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering forests, lived a benevolent king and his gentle queen. For many years, their hearts ached for a child, a tiny heir to fill the grand halls of their castle with laughter and light. Their prayers were finally answered, and a beautiful princess, whom they named Aurora, was born. Her arrival was met with unprecedented joy, not just within the royal family, but throughout the entire kingdom. The bells of the cathedral chimed for days, and the people danced in the streets, celebrating the birth of their beloved future queen. The air was thick with happiness, a golden glow that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the kingdom. To commemorate this momentous occasion, the king and queen decided to host an extravagant christening celebration. Invitations, embossed with the royal crest, were dispatched to every corner of the land, summoning nobles, dignitaries, and even the wisest and most powerful fairies from distant lands. The grand hall of the castle was adorned with tapestries of gold and silver, and tables groaned under the weight of the most exquisite delicacies. Musicians played joyous melodies, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. It was a day of unparalleled splendor, a testament to the love and hope that surrounded the infant princess. However, amidst the joyous revelry, a shadow loomed. Unbeknownst to the king and queen, a malevolent force had been observing their happiness with bitter envy. Maleficent, a powerful sorceress whose heart was as cold as the deepest winter, had been deliberately overlooked in the christening invitations. Her pride wounded, her dark spirit seethed with a desire for vengeance. As the celebration reached its crescendo, a sudden chill swept through the hall, and the grand doors, once so welcoming, creaked open to reveal her ominous silhouette. Her eyes, like burning embers, swept across the room, settling on the innocent form of the sleeping princess. A hush fell over the assembly, the joyous music fading into an uneasy silence. Maleficent, with a cruel smile, raised her staff, and a chilling prophecy echoed through the stunned silence. The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, but on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on a spinning wheel and fall into a sleep from which she shall never awaken. Her words, like shards of ice, pierced the hearts of all who heard them, casting a pall over the once festive atmosphere. The king and queen, their faces etched with terror, could only watch in horror as the malevolent sorceress vanished as mysteriously as she had appeared, leaving behind a chilling silence and the lingering scent of despair. The curse and the good fairies' grace a collective gasp rippled through the hall as Maleficent's chilling pronouncement hung in the air. The king, his face ashen, rushed to the queen, who had fainted from shock. Panic began to spread among the courtiers. But before chaos could fully erupt, a shimmering light appeared in the center of the room. From within its gentle glow emerged a figure of serene beauty and wisdom, the good fairy Liliana, who had been overlooked in the initial invitations due to her quiet nature and preference for solitude. Her eyes, filled with compassion, fell upon the infant Aurora, still blissfully unaware of the dark fate that had just been woven around her. Liliana, with a wave of her delicate wand, calmed the frightened assembly. "Fear not, my king and queen." Her voice, like the gentle chime of silver bells, resonated through the silence. Maleficent's magic is potent, but even the darkest curse can be softened by the light of true love and hope. She approached the cradle, her touch as light as a butterfly's wing, and a soft, warm glow enveloped the sleeping infant. "The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, and on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on a spinning wheel. But instead of death, she shall fall into a deep sleep, a slumber that will last for 100 years, or until true love's kiss awakens her." A collective sigh of relief swept through the hall, though the weight of the prolonged slumber still settled heavily on their hearts. The king, still trembling, looked at Liliana with gratitude. "How can we ever repay you, noble fairy?" he asked, his voice hoarse with emotion. Liliana simply smiled. "Protect your daughter, my king. For the curse to be truly averted, she must be kept safe from all spinning wheels." And so, a royal decree was issued, echoing throughout the kingdom. Every spinning wheel, every spindle, every instrument of thread and fiber was to be collected and burned. The royal guards, with heavy hearts, went from village to village, gathering these innocent tools, reducing them to ashes in massive bonfires. The people, though saddened by the loss of their cherished craft, understood the gravity of the situation and complied without protest. The kingdom, once vibrant with the hum of spinning wheels, now fell silent, a constant reminder of the dark prophecy that hung over their beloved princess. The king and queen, haunted by Maleficent's words, became overly protective of Aurora, shielding her from every perceived danger, hoping to outwit fate itself. They built a secluded tower within the castle, where Aurora would be raised, away from the prying eyes of the world and, more importantly, away from any potential harm that might lead to the fulfillment of the curse. They believed that by isolating her, they could keep her safe, a fragile bird in a gilded cage, unaware of the storm that still brewed on the horizon. Free. Aurora's childhood and the fateful day years passed, and Princess Aurora grew into a young woman of unparalleled beauty and grace, her spirit as bright and free as the morning sun. Unbeknownst to her, she was raised in a secluded cottage deep within the enchanted forest, far from the watchful eyes of the kingdom and the lingering shadow of Maleficent's curse. Three kind and wise fairies, disguised as humble village women, were her constant companions and guardians, teaching her the ways of the forest, the songs of the birds, and the gentle art of living in harmony with nature. They shielded her from the harsh realities of the world, nurturing her innocence and fostering a spirit of boundless curiosity. Aurora, in her blissful ignorance, knew nothing of her royal lineage, nor of the dark prophecy that had shadowed her birth. She believed herself to be a simple country girl, content with her life among the trees, and the gentle creatures of the wild. Her days were filled with laughter, exploration, and the simple joys of a life unburdened by the weight of expectation or the complexities of courtly life. As her 16th birthday approached, a subtle shift occurred. A longing, a quiet yearning for something more, began to stir within her heart. She would often gaze at the distant mountains, wondering about the world beyond her secluded haven, dreaming of adventures yet to be discovered. The good fairies, sensing her growing restlessness, knew that the time was drawing near for her to return to her rightful place. On the eve of her 16th birthday, a strange compulsion drew Aurora towards an abandoned tower, hidden deep within the castle grounds, a place she had never noticed before. The air around it hummed with an almost palpable energy, a silent invitation that she could not resist. With a sense of wonder and trepidation, she pushed open the heavy, creaking door, revealing a spiral staircase that seemed to beckon her upwards. The dust of ages lay thick upon the steps, and cobwebs clung to the ancient stone walls. Yet a faint, ethereal light seemed to emanate from the very top of the tower. At the pinnacle of the tower, bathed in a soft, otherworldly glow, stood a single, ornate spinning wheel. Its spindle, sharp and gleaming, seemed to pulse with a magnetic allure. As if in a trance, Aurora reached out, her fingers brushing against the needle-sharp point. A sudden, searing pain, followed by a wave of dizziness, washed over her. The world spun, and she felt herself falling, not into darkness, but into a profound, dreamless sleep. At that very moment, a powerful wave of magic swept through the entire kingdom. The good fairy, Liliana, who had been watching over Aurora from afar, knew that the curse had finally taken hold. With a heavy heart, she cast a powerful spell, not to break the curse, but to soften its impact. The entire kingdom, from the highest noble to the lowliest peasant, fell into a deep slumber, their lives suspended in time, waiting for the day their beloved princess would awaken. The castle, once a vibrant hub of activity, became a silent, enchanted realm, overgrown with thorns and briar, a testament to the enduring power of a love that transcended time itself. By form, the passage of time and the prince's arrival, for 100 years the castle lay dormant, shrouded in a thick blanket of thorns and briar, a silent monument to a forgotten time. The once bustling courtyards were now overgrown with wild roses, their thorny branches intertwining to form an impenetrable barrier. The grand halls, once echoing with laughter and music, were now still, save for the occasional whisper of the wind through the broken windows. The kingdom too slept, its people frozen in time, their lives suspended in a dream. The legend of the sleeping princess, however, endured. Whispers of a beautiful maiden, cursed to an eternal slumber, spread throughout the land, captivating the imaginations of generations. Brave knights, driven by tales of her beauty and the promise of untold riches, attempted to breach the thorny fortress, but none succeeded. The thorns, it seemed, guarded their secret well, their embrace as fierce as any dragon. One day, a young prince, known for his courage and unwavering spirit, heard the whispers of the sleeping princess. Prince Philip, unlike the others, was not driven by the allure of riches or fame. He was drawn by a sense of destiny, a feeling that his fate was inextricably linked to that of the slumbering maiden. He had heard the ancient prophecies, the tales of a kingdom lost to time, and a princess awaiting her true love. Armed with nothing but his unwavering determination and a heart full of hope, he set out on a perilous journey, determined to find the legendary castle and awaken its sleeping beauty. His path was fraught with peril, for Maleficent, though dormant, still exerted her dark influence over the surrounding lands. He battled mythical beasts, navigated treacherous landscapes, and outwitted cunning traps, his resolve never wavering. He knew that the fate of the kingdom, and perhaps even his own, rested on his shoulders. Finally, after weeks of relentless travel, he arrived at the edge of the enchanted forest. Before him, shrouded in an ethereal mist, stood the legendary castle, its towers piercing the sky like ancient sentinels. The thorns, once a formidable barrier, seemed to part before him, as if welcoming their long-awaited guest. He pushed through the overgrown foliage, his heart pounding with anticipation, until he reached the castle gates. They creaked open, revealing a scene of breathtaking beauty and profound stillness. The air was thick with the scent of ancient dust and forgotten dreams, and a sense of timelessness enveloped him. He walked through the silent courtyards, past the frozen fountains, and into the grand hall, where the entire kingdom lay in a deep slumber. He saw the king and queen, their faces peaceful in their sleep, and the courtiers frozen in mid-conversation. But his eyes were drawn to a single ethereal figure, lying peacefully on a bed of roses, her beauty undimmed by the passage of time. It was Aurora, the sleeping princess, her face illuminated by a soft inner light. He knelt beside her, his heart overflowing with a love he had never known, and gently, reverently, he pressed his lips to hers. The spell was broken, the kingdom stirred, and a collective gasp rippled through the air as life returned to the ancient halls. Aurora's eyes fluttered open, and she gazed at Philip, her heart recognizing his true love. The kingdom rejoiced, their long slumber finally at an end, and the promise of a new era of peace and prosperity dawned upon them. The royal wedding and happily ever after, the awakening of Princess Aurora was met with an outpouring of joy and celebration that echoed throughout the kingdom. The long slumber had ended, and with it, the shadow of Maleficent's curse was finally lifted. The castle, once a silent, enchanted realm, now buzzed with renewed life, its ancient stones resonating with laughter, music, and the joyous clamor of a kingdom reborn. The king and queen, their faces radiant with relief and happiness, embraced their daughter, tears of joy streaming down their cheeks. The courtiers, awakened from their century-long sleep, marveled at the vibrant energy that now filled their lives, a stark contrast to the quiet stillness that had once defined their existence. Prince Philip, hailed as a hero, stood beside Aurora, his hand clasped firmly in hers. Their love, forged in the crucible of 100-year sleep and a daring rescue, was undeniable. The kingdom, eager to celebrate their beloved princess and her brave rescuer, began preparations for a royal wedding of unprecedented grandeur. Tailors worked tirelessly, weaving gowns of silk and lace, each stitch imbued with the hopes and dreams of a brighter future. Chefs prepared feasts fit for a king, their kitchens alive with the aroma of roasted meats and sweet pastries. Musicians composed new melodies, their notes soaring through the air, carrying the joyous news to every corner of the land. The entire kingdom, from the humblest peasant to the highest noble, contributed to the festivities, their hearts overflowing with gratitude and anticipation. On a day bathed in golden sunlight, Princess Aurora and Prince Philip stood before their adoring subjects, their vows echoing through the hallowed halls of the royal chapel. Aurora, resplendent in a gown of shimmering ivory, her hair adorned with delicate pearls, looked every inch the fairy tale princess. Philip, in his regal attire, his eyes shining with devotion, was the very embodiment of a valiant prince. The ceremony was a testament to their enduring love, a promise of a future filled with happiness and prosperity. As they exchanged rings, a collective cheer erupted from the assembled crowd, their voices blending in a symphony of joy and hope. The kingdom, united in their celebration, knew that a new era had dawned, an era of peace, prosperity, and enduring love. And so, Princess Aurora and Prince Philip lived happily ever after, their love story becoming a legend whispered from generation to generation. They ruled their kingdom with wisdom and compassion, their reign marked by an abundance of joy and a profound sense of peace. Their tale, a testament to the power of true love and the triumph of hope over despair, served as a beacon of inspiration for all who heard it. The kingdom flourished under their benevolent rule, its people living in harmony, their lives intertwined with the enduring legacy of their beloved Sleeping Beauty. The castle, once a symbol of a curse, became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of dreams, and a reminder that even in the deepest slumber, love will always find a way to awaken and triumph.